Imagine this. You're home alone, but there's a faint sound echoing from the basement. It's an ordinary night, just you and the low hum of the refrigerator. Suddenly, the tranquility is shattered by a distant, unidentified noise. It's coming from the basement, that dusty, rarely visited part of your home. Suspense hangs in the air like a thick fog as you wrestle with your curiosity. The decision is made. With a deep breath, you grab a flashlight and start your descent into the unknown. As you descend the creaky stairs, each step intensifies the chilling echoes from below. The wooden planks underfoot groan and whine, as though protesting your intrusion into the abyss that lies beneath. The air grows colder with each step, a stark contrast to the warm comfort of the world you've left behind. It's as if you're journeying into the very heart of winter itself, the frosty chill seeping into your bones. With each moment, the sounds from below grow louder, more terrifying. The distant dripping of water, the scurrying of unseen creatures, the ominous hum of silence. It's a symphony of fear that plays on your nerves. It's like the house itself is alive, its very heartbeat echoing in the stillness. Your heart pounds in your chest, matching rhythm with the creaking of the old house. It's a dance of dread, where each beat, each creak, each echo adds to the gnawing fear that twists your gut. The feeling of being watched, of being hunted, creeps up on you, as potent as the cold. You pause, your breath hitching as you strain to listen, to discern the source of the noise. But it's impossible. The sounds are everywhere, surrounding you, engulfing you. It's as if the house is whispering its secrets to you, its tales of terror and despair. And then it hits you, the realization that you are not alone, that there's something else in this house with you, something unseen, something unknown. The dread that was creeping up on you now stands tall, its icy fingers wrapping around your heart. But before you can react, before you can even draw a breath to scream, the world plunges into darkness. The single bulb hanging from the ceiling flickers once, twice, before dying out completely. And just like that, you are swallowed by darkness. Suddenly, the light flickers out and you are swallowed by darkness. In the pitch black, your mind begins to play tricks on you. Every sound, every shadow appears to be a lurking threat. In the heart of darkness, the protagonist feels an icy sensation creeping up their spine. Their breath quickens, every exhale echoing in the chilling silence that blankets the room. The once familiar surroundings morph into an inky labyrinth, each corner shrouded in mystery. The protagonist's heart hammers in their chest like a desperate plea for escape, each beat a stark reminder of their harrowing predicament. The quiet is then shattered by a whisper, a haunting melody that weaves itself through the darkness. The protagonist's blood turns cold. It's a sound they can't place, a sound that shouldn't be there. Yet it persists, growing louder, more insistent. It's a voice, they realize. A voice without a body, a voice that seems to be coming from nowhere and everywhere at once. Suddenly, they feel something brush against their leg. It's a fleeting touch, a ghostly caress that sends a jolt of panic coursing through their veins. Their heart pounds in their ears, drowning out the eerie whispers that fill the room. The protagonist's mind races, conjuring up 1,000 terrifying possibilities of what lurks in the darkness. In a surge of adrenaline, they make a break for the basement door, their only chance of escape. But the door refuses to budge. They're met with the chilling realization that the door has been locked from the outside. A wave of despair washes over them. The whispers grow louder, the unseen presence more tangible. The room suddenly feels smaller, the air heavier. The protagonist is trapped, a prisoner in their own home, their safe haven turned into a nightmare. The darkness is no longer just an absence of light. It's a living entity, a predator lying in wait. The unseen terror has them in its grasp, and there's nowhere left to run. In the darkness, you realize you're trapped. You're trapped, all alone, with something in the darkness. The only thing you can do now is to confront it. In the pitch-black abyss of uncertainty, you find a beacon of hope. It's a source of light, a beacon that pierces the gloom, that shatters the oppressive darkness. You find it, a relic from another time, an old, weathered oil lamp. It's a lifeline, a glimmer of hope in your dire situation. As the wick catches fire, the room around you bursts into view. The darkness recedes, revealing the source of the ominous sounds that have been haunting you. A hidden room, a secret chamber buried deep within the basement. It's a place that time forgot, a place that should have remained lost. The room is filled with strange and unsettling items, old photographs, worn and faded, showing people you don't recognize. Mismatched furniture draped in dusty sheets, a collection of old dolls, their glassy eyes staring blankly into the room. Each item seems to hold a story, a tale of a time long past. But it's not the items that chill your bones. It's the room itself. The walls are lined with deep scratches, as if something clawed to get out. The floor is stained, dark patches that you don't dare to identify. The air is stale, heavy with a sense of dread that clings to your skin. As you explore the room, a dreadful realization dawns upon you. This isn't just a room, it's a prison, a cell. And the occupant was not a willing one. The fear is a physical presence now, a weight on your shoulders. You're not alone in this house. You never were. This room, this hidden chamber, was the lair of something monstrous, something that was trapped, just like you are now. As the reality of your discovery sinks in, you hear the basement door creak open. With a gasp, you turn towards the sound of the creaking door. Freedom is within reach, but will you make it in time? Your heart hammers in your chest like a relentless drum, each beat echoing the precious seconds slipping away. The once familiar surroundings of your home have morphed into a terrifying labyrinth, filled with shadows that seem to writhe and twist with a life of their own. The door, your only path to safety, looms at the end of the hallway, a beacon of hope amidst the encroaching darkness. Fear propels you forward, your breath coming in ragged gasps as you sprint towards the promise of escape. Behind you, the unseen terror gives chase, its presence a chilling whisper against your skin. The air grows colder, the lights flicker and dim, as if the very house is rebelling against your desperate bid for freedom. The door. It's just ahead now, but it's locked. Panic surges through you, a tidal wave threatening to drown you in its icy depths. Your trembling fingers fumble with the lock, the metallic click of the key echoing ominously in the silence. The unseen presence is closer now, its cold breath prickling the hairs on the back of your neck. Time slows to a dreadful crawl. The key turns. The lock clicks open. But will it be enough? The door creaks agonizingly slow, the suspense unbearable. It's a race against time, a dance with the unseen, a desperate play for survival. And then, with a final Herculean effort, you throw the door wide open. The cool night air rushes in, sweeping away the oppressive darkness. The unseen presence recoils, its icy grip loosening as you stumble out of the house and into the sanctuary of the moonlit night. The terror is behind you, contained within the walls of the once familiar home. Now it's nothing more than a haunting reminder of the unseen terror that lurked within. With a final push, you burst out of the basement into the safety of the moonlit night. As you stand in the moonlight, gasping for breath, you can't help but look back at the house. The very place you've called home now feels like a stranger, its darkened windows and looming silhouette a stark contrast to the once comforting familiarity. You shudder, the memory of the night's terror still fresh in your mind. It's an ordinary house, on an ordinary street, but what you've discovered in its depths has turned your world upside down. The basement, once a sanctuary of forgotten trinkets and dusty storage boxes, has become a chilling reminder of the unseen terror that lurked beneath your feet. You're safe now, standing in the cool night air, far from the confines of the basement. The horror that unfolded seems like a distant nightmare, but the lingering dread is a painful reminder of the reality. You vow to yourself then, under the pale glow of the moon, to never step foot in the basement again. No longer will you let curiosity lead you into the unknown. No longer will you ignore the creeping dread that tugs at your senses. In your heart, you know it's over. You've escaped the unseen terror, survived the horrific reveal, and lived to tell the tale. But the house, your house, will never be the same again. In the end, the house remains, a silent sentinel hiding its terrifying secret.